So, I have a genuine question. How can two children come from the same parents, live in the same house, eat the same food, listen to the same rules, be raised basically the same way, and somehow end up complete opposite? Like, honestly, genetics are terrifying. I swear, one of my children could be peacefully sitting in a meadow petting butterflies, while the other would accidentally light the meadow on fire trying to make a science experiment. And before anybody gets offended, I love my children more than life itself. This is not me complaining. It's me being absolutely mind blown at how different human beings can be while literally growing up under the same roof. Because it really makes you realize kids are born with their own personalities, already downloaded into their systems. Like, they arrive here pre-programmed. And I know environment matters, parenting matters, obviously life experiences, but genetics are wild. Latch myself looking at my kids sometimes. I catch myself, excuse me. Oh my God, that is my father. Or that is literally my sister at age 7. Or even worse, oh my God, that's me. And it's always the little things too, like weird habits, the expressions, the attitudes, the way they react to stress, the way they argue, the way they laugh. Sometimes one of my kids will say something and it's like hearing my grandma speak through a tiny little body. And it's honestly fascinating. And also slightly horrifying in a way, but because then you realize your family's DNA has been recycling personalities for generations. Anyway, like somehow out there your ancestors are probably watching like, yep, your Uncle Frank again told you he'd be back stubborn. And that's funny is how differently siblings influence each other too. Because let me tell you something. When my older child is not home, my younger child becomes an angel. Sweet, calm, cooperative, helpful. Like, I start questioning whether I've unlocked some magical parenting level. I'm sitting here thinking, wow, I've done something amazing. Then my oldest child walks through the door, and suddenly the younger one transforms into a tiny WWE fighter possessed by chaos itself. Immediately louder, immediately crazier. Running, jumping, fighting, feeding off each other's energy. Here she is now. Say hi, Sophia. Hi, Olivia.
Hi. Hi.
Anyway, I'm standing in the kitchen like, who are you people? It's honestly amazing how much siblings influence each other, and I really think birth order plays a role too. Older siblings act like mini adults. Younger siblings sometimes act like feral raccoons who survived in the wilderness. And the middle children, honestly, they're usually just somehow in the background trying to avoid eye contact.
What?
Not that I have that experience because I have my two. Well, I do have a bonus son, but he didn't have to experience that middle child syndrome. But seriously, sibling energy is real. One child can completely shift the emotional atmosphere in the house. And then as parents, we sit there trying to figure out, is this personality genetics? Is this learned behavior? Is this because Mercury is in retrograde? And like, what is happening? Because parenting multiple children really humbles you. You quickly realize you cannot use the exact parenting strategy for every child. One kid responds beautifully to calm explanations. Another kid looks directly into your soul while you're explaining consequences and continues doing the thing anyway. One child is deeply sensitive. One child can probably survive alone in the woods with a juice box and pure confidence. And then again, neither's bad. They're just humans. And honestly, I think that's what makes parenting so interesting. Exhausting, but interesting. Because you start seeing how much of a human behavior is wired into us from the beginning. And I remember thinking before I had kids that parenting was mostly about shaping a child. But now, I honestly think parenting is more about discovering who they already are and helping them guide through life. It's okay, Olivia, don't worry. Because they come here as their own little people. Tiny people with giant emotions. Random habits, strange fears, like flies. My little Mia. Unbelievable energy levels, personalities, and sometimes make no sense. And somehow we're all just figuring it out together. Also, we can talk about how siblings fight 1 minute and then become best friends 5 minutes later. Like, the emotional whiplash is insane. 1 second, someone's crying because someone touched their snack. The next second, they're building a blanket fort together like nothing happened. Meanwhile, in the one emotionally recovering in the corner, but honestly, I think there's something really beautiful about seeing pieces of your family carried through generations. Even the weird stuff, even the stubbornness, even the dramatic personalities, because they remind you that humans are deeply connected. We carry pieces of people before us without even realizing it. Life expressions, little quirks, little personality traits. And even sometimes when your child does something unbelievably familiar, it almost feels like getting a glimpse into your own childhood from the outside, which is both healing and occasionally karma, because wow, kids really do humble us. Anyway, if you have multiple children, have you ever looked at them wondering how they could possibly come from the same house? Just know you're definitely not alone. And if one of your children acts like an angel alone but performs into chaos the second their sibling appears, I see you too.
Mommy.
Parenting is basically just physically genetics, surviving noise, snacks, and confusing mixed together. And honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'll be right there, sweetie baby. Most days, depending on the volume level.
Are you okay?
Thank you guys for listening. My kids are getting a little restless right now, and if your kids are inherited some widely specific family trait that makes you stop and go, wow, that is definitely your grandfather, please tell them, I'm not alone. Because genetics are absolutely insane. Yeah. Anyway, that's it, guys. Good talk. And time to put my kids to bed. Yes, Sophia, what would you like to say to the audience?
Well, just relax.
She's learning how to relax her nervous system. And I'm very proud of her. Anything that you want to say, Liv?
I was trying to say something too.
Okay. Well, that's it, guys. Have a great night. Talk to you soon. Bye.